Hello, my name is Beatriz. Welcome to my studio. It is cherry season here where I live, and although I bought the traditional red cherries, they're delicious, I decided to paint them in the more yellow orangey because they will work perfect for the things that they are trying to teach you here in this video, which it is how by exploring how going from one light to the darker colors, we can get form and add dimension to our paintings. What is the magic? The magic is in the soft edges. By blending these colors without having any hard edges, very few, only a couple are here, then we can achieve the roundness and the 3D and a flat surface like it is watercolor paper. If you are ready, grab your brushes, your materials, and then start painting. An area dry, and we're not gonna paint on that because that's our highlights. So I have a highlight area here already marked, and those are important in order to give us the roundness. And I have another one right here that I'm also saving up a bit, and we're gonna start bringing some of it around here. We want to allow some of the yellow to show, but we want the orange mainly, because let's face it, our cherries are not yellow. Okay, and now we're gonna switch to red. Careful that we stay in our lines. We let the water edges blend. We're gonna get paint that is a little bit thicker, meaning less water. So we can start marking our edges better. Okay, this is darker, so red, 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 and now transition to orange. And we leave the yellow. I just bring in water. And over here I would like a little bit more of the yellow showing so I can lift a little bit of the color. And go back with my yellow. Well, let's just bring, this time we're gonna bring a little bit of the more pinky. So let's go with that, and then let's go from the bottom. Let us spread a little bit on the edge, imaginary line here that goes up. Still is gonna spread, so I just wanna spread it the way I want it. And let's put this highlight. We got a highlight there, but we are almost losing. So bring it back, bring the yellow. This is gonna be the lightest of all, so water, yellow. Yes, I have a highlight nevertheless. So let's get more water. Switch to the yellow and orange. We put some of that right here. And let's just bring in, this will be a darker spot. Little lead. We drop in, let's take a little bit of the color and put some over here. Start getting the roundness. More over here. Yeah, little bit here. Switch to red. Drop it here. We're gonna finish this one in one go. And we're gonna put big line there. Thin. Thicker. There it goes. Blend. Little hand over here. Blend. Here. Blend. And finally, a hand over there. Okay. And lightly, but we're gonna pick some of these browns or darkers that we have here in the palette. If you don't have that, then just make like a very dark brown or a very, or even a black. And we're gonna put a very thin line here. Goes out. And it will be the beginning of our stem as well. But we're going to put that in pause. We don't want to hurry it, so we just go in with water. We will drop other colors later. Okay, just put a little bit of that here too, lightly, very little, and then we go with some of these reds to blend. And the dark red. Time. Oops. Blend. Dark. Blend that out a little. Dark right here. One more time. And this is why we call making layers and watercolor. And that's how we keep it transparent and fresh. A little bit there. And we're gonna let that one rest. So let's get one more. Go at it. This one, instead of only water, I'm getting a little bit of this orangey, but it's very light. Well, the red is thicker. Okay, let's see. This will be kind of like if it goes this way. Kind of like starts to turn. So pretty much this going to this direction. Let's blend. Blend. blending with that color also adds brightness. And we just bring in the red still here, and this is actually just the orange and a little bit of red that my brush picked up by mixing those colors. And now I'm going only with water, and this is too round, so let's just bring over here, and by going round like this we are making it more 3D. Okay, this is good. Little bit here, bring it up, and here we want some of this red. Let's do it here, but this one, for right now, we're putting it in the same tone. However, this part will get darker and this one will remain lighter. This is a little too big of a highlight, so let's just make it slightly less. And again, only yellow or even water. Back to our dark red, and now we do the separation right there. Tiny bit we go there. Let's put little one here, and let's start going on the roundness of the cherry. And now instead of getting only yellow, I'm getting a little very watered down mix of the pinks and reds for the tip of my blending brush. So one on the little brush I'm using to apply the color, and the big brush to blend. Okay, darker with meaning a little bit more concentrated. Less water, more paint. Goes down, down, and then circle. Bleed it out, blend it, blend it, blend it. Only water will take the hard edges. And now we mix the dark red with some of these darker ones. So if you now you add a little bit of grays or a little bit of blues, and let's just put a darker color this way. Goes down a little. Get another one of those darker areas here. Less to more, like brown. And one over here, also brown. And the darker and this edge. A little bit comes here. Okay, now with the red light ones we blend. Right. This is a slightly too light, so between that dark and this light, we need to have a little transition. Blend. And here for the roundness, the same light color, but we're gonna bring it down. There it is. Because this one will also put a little bit of a shadow on the other. All right, red with a little bit thicker and less water. And this time I'm gonna get my brush with only water. So let's start putting it into, this will be darker here. And let's start doing the roundness of the cherry. Water, blend, and blend. And then from the other direction. If I go into this direction, I'm picking some of my red. So I'm bringing it up. If I could go like this, I will eventually cover all my yellows. So I want to go, I pick some of these yellows here, and then now I go on to the opposite direction. So I keep this part light, but I still don't have hardness. I need to have one here to see that it goes from round, deep, into out. So let's go like that. Again, let's get this like that. And let's just put one round. Okay. Only yellow with water and a little bit of the orange. Blend. I'll have like a little halo of light here. That's the way that the light is hitting. And this is too sharp, so now I just go water. And we cover all of that. A little bit here of dark. Keep this light. And a little deep over there. All right. Now I'm gonna bring our dark. One goes over here. And run. Bend down. Blend. I'm trying to blend, lifting a little because I want this a little bit light. And now dark with the darker brown too. The dark red with the darker brown. And we're going to put that one here. Goes and out, round, down, and out. Brown. And now the mix of these yellows, orange, whatever, and we blend. Lighter part of it there. We need a dark like that. So darker red with these mixes of browns. And that's it. Now we left some of that one. And now we're gonna start working on our shadows and our stems. Let's get a little bit of paper to lift this highlight. All right. Let's start with a little bit of browns. Maybe we get in a brown sienna. A little bit of the brown sienna. And it comes, well, I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna start here. Let's get a little darker because it comes from this dark area. So dark. And then I'm just gonna pick up some greens from the palette. Those are some of the greens we did with the kind of like berry greens. Mix these two while they are wet, spreading it out lightly. And again, the browns with a little bit of the red. We put some of them right here. Switch to this kind of dirty greens. Okay. And now we put a thing of brown right here. Some water and let them bleed. Same thing here. Get a brown. Brown. This one we're gonna make it all brown. Brown. Let's make it a little darker by picking some of the stuff that we have there. And now we bring it down, down, down. Light brown. Darken the edge. Just water. Okay, but now our cherries are pretty much floating in the air, so let's just ground them. We are bringing some of my black, and we're gonna, so the colors they are, or the object are always gonna reflect on the ground. Okay, some of this black, but we're also gonna drop some reds. And the, make sure that it's right. The shadow will always be darker, closer to the object. So let's go carefully there, dark. And dark. We're gonna drop some of this darker red. Let's go here. Now they will start getting lighter, so we can do one or two things. We can come with a little bit of water on the edge that we want to get. Okay, back to our black. And then wherever it touches the dry, will get lighter. We're gonna get the one with a lot of water. We're gonna bring it to this outer edge. My brush is wet, so has color, so let's just bring a clean brush. and have a little bit of blending. Let's go back to our blacks. Give you a little bit of background. I just planting some color, and now if I go with my I'm activating them. Let's get some yellows too, so everything is not just red. And our cherries are done. And here they are, fresh, juicy, and full of light. If you painted along, let me know how it went. And if you just enjoy watching, I hope that I brought you some inspiration. There is beauty in everyday life objects if we just take the time to pause and notice. As always, I thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in my next video.